Hello, folks. Welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and tonight we're going to be looking at the Tunguska event. But while we wait for people to gather in the chat, let me go off and show you some artwork off for my own upcoming graphic novel, Scumdogs. Welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and tonight we're going to be looking at the Yeah, there, got that up there. Now, let's go look at my artwork. Here is art and characters from my own upcoming graphic novel, Scumdogs. The Scumdogs is a parody comic book. It parodies the cartoons we all know and love when we were growing up, when we were kids, watching them on TV. Now, the Scumdogs themselves, they're supervillains out to take over the world. See, they used to compete in sporting events known as the Scumdog Sports. Sporting events held with superhuman monsters as the pro athletes. See, they're called scum and dogs because they trade in their humanity for superpowers, or they become superhumanly powerful monsters. You get it. They're scum and dogs for it. They did for money and stuff, trading in their humanity for fame and fortune. But so you get the idea. But yeah, there. But what happens when they get banned from sports? They decide to take over the world. Now, the Scumdogs, my main characters you can see on the cover here. My two main characters are the leader of the Scumdogs, Deathmug, who's the purple guy with the metal mask, fighting his archenemy over here, the guy with the pink pompadour hair. Now, Deathmug is an arrogant dictator who wants to rule the world, while Buick Starpoon is a parody on G.I. Joe. Well, military is a parody on military type characters like from G.I. Joe. You know, the overblown, arrogant military type of guy who never admits he's wrong and always continues to screw up. But he's also a parody on the space opera hero kind of character. Now, Deathmug is a parody of various villains from 80s cartoons. You can see it the way he looks. Like the villains of G.I. Joe, he looks like them. Namely, he's got a metal mask like Cobra Commander, and he's got the leaders of Cobra. He's got a metal mask like Cobra Commander. He's got gold on him like Serpentor, and he's purple like the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, Buick Starpoon, he's basically a parody of Duke from G.I. Joe, and as I said, he's a parody of the space opera heroes like Zap Brannigan, Captain Kirk from Star Trek, Buzz Lightyear, and Buck Rogers, those kinds of characters. Anyone with a similar... And because he's a G.I. Joe parody, in fact, all of his team are G.I. Joe parodies, they each have a military specialty, and they have a specialty in the military. They all do. Buick Starpoon is that he's a captain in the Space Forces. His other members of his team, you can see on this cover as well. This guy over here with the mohawk, his name is Roadhog. His military specialty is that he's an army guy. He was part of the army. While this bald guy with the gun down here with the blue uniform, his name is Beach Powder. His military specialty is that he's a Marine. Before he was anything else, he was a Marine. Now he's part of Buick Starpoon's team in the Space Forces. Then there's this guy back here in the red uniform. His name is Blast Tank. He's a tanker. That's his specialty. Now, this cover is one of 3 different variant covers you'll be able to back when my Indiegogo goes live, so there's that as well. Right? Now let's look at Girl Friday. She's another member of the Wild Rangers. That's the name of Buick Starpoon's team in the Space Forces. She's Buick Starpoon's second in command. She was assigned to him because while the Wild Rangers fight the Scumdogs and save the universe, they're just morons who destroy everything in sight. So her superiors assigned Girl Friday as the second command to basically babysit him. Now, she hates him. She hates her job because she thinks her career in the military is over because she's basically just a babysitter. That's Girl Friday. And here we have Deathmug's henchmen. Because, in all 80s cartoons, the main villain of the cartoon would have henchmen, and they'd be total idiots. These are my idiots. The pink guy with the pink guy down here is Sloppy, and the blue guy with the top hat up here is Murdermouth. And they're a couple of idiots. They're a parody of every henchman from an 80s cartoon. They can't do anything right, but they're going to be fun to read about in my graphic novel. By the way, hit that like button for me. It really helps me fight the algorithm, okay? And please go share this video out on Twitter and Facebook. Here we have Hair Metal Doctor. Hair Metal Doctor is a parody on Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe, a mad scientist. But my mad scientist has been crossed over with a hair metal musician. He thinks of all the machines the Scumdogs use to try and take over the universe. He does it while rocking out. That's Hair Metal Doctor. And here we have Miss Rusty Melons. Miss Rusty Melons is a parody on the Baroness from G.I. Joe, but unlike the Baroness, she's a party girl who only wants to have fun. All right? Now, the hair middle Dr. Pinup and the Miss Rusty, well, everything else, yeah. I continue to work on my graphic novel every day, folks. So when Scumdogs is out on Indiegogo, go back it. All right? Now, the hair middle Dr. Pinup and the Miss Rusty Melons pinup will be included with other pinups in my graphic novel for you to back when it's up. But it will also, well, it's not up on, but these pinups will also be out to you. I will also get these pinups out to you on T-shirts for you to buy from Crypto Fashion as well, as soon as I can do it. Now we looked at this. Let's look at some Indiegogos before we look at the Tunguska event, okay? And by the way, I work on my graphic novel every day. It's coming to you on Indiegogo. Scumdogs is coming, folks. Let me go over here. Not too bad. Now, let me do this. Let's see. Let's get this up here. Now, Sword and the Sorcerer movie sequel. The fantasy cult movie from the 80s with a vengeance, and it's in comic book format. Not bad. 28 days left. 405. Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo. Yeah, it's made 90,231. Now funding through on demand. That's pretty good there. The Blue Bombshell has made 21,725. Stomp the Comic Book 2 has made 5,998. That's good right there. Final Boss has made 32,906. So that's good too. Viking Wolf has made over 22. Yeah, made quite a few bit of money as well. Let's go over here and see if we can't get any more. Indiegogo's up. Mavericks, Volume 1 has made 9,345 with 26 days left. Ooh, that's pretty good right there. Earthbound 2 has made 51,971. Final Boss has made over 32,000. Race Charlie's War has made over 25,000. Let's see. Sword and the Sorcerer. Cult classic from the 80s is back with a vengeance, directed by legendary who created a beloved story that was transcended time. Now we have the opportunity to expand the universe with a 22-page color comic with incredible art and an amazing cover. Not bad. All right. Looks good. Ooh, here's artwork from the interiors. Yeah, that looks good. Oh yeah, I remember this movie. Yeah, looks good. Good classics right here. All right. That's the Sword and the Sorcerer. Let's take a look at its. Let me see that from the beginning again. Let me see that. right. Not bad. Not bad. Let's go over here and now let's maybe look at some the Tunguska event, huh? Let's see. The various theories and stuff like that for the Tunguska event. So maybe look at terms. New explanation for the Tunguska meteorite event and destruction. Should I look at various? Should I look at a Wikipedia article? I'm just trying to find the original thing on the article. So let's go into this. Let's look at the Tunguska event right here. Feel free to leave me a few chats because I love to hear from you guys. And I know I basically live streaming a bit later, but hey, it's better than what I did for the last few days. It was a meteorite that crashed in Siberia in 2008. No, it was a comet. No, it was a bomb. It was a UFO crash. No, it was a methane explosion. It was a visit by an angry creature called Ogli, called something, called well, it was by an evil alien creature. Dustin here. It's quite smoking here. Thank you, Dustin, for checking in. Something packing the force of what has been described, as with the power of over, let's see, hundreds of Hiroshima bombs hit a fortunately deserted area of Siberia near the Tunguska River in 1908, destroying an estimated 80 million trees, an area of 2,000 of over 2,000 square kilometers, 830, over 830 some miles. 870 miles, no, 800 miles, square mile, 800 over 800 square miles. But the space rock or bomb or whatever caused it has never been identified, especially since there's no impact crater or reliable. Well, it was over 2,150 and stuff, and over 830. But hey, I'm just going around here a bit. But the space rock or bomb has never been identified. Since there's no impact crater or reliable eyewitness, an airburst from a meteor disintegrating in the atmosphere generally gets the most votes, but it's far from unanimous. Now, new research suggests a similar yet different cause for the Tunguska event, and that cause may still be around. Should we be worried? Is this a winner? Who knows, folks? It's just a bunch of stuff that are in. But yeah, the Tunguska event happened over 100 years ago, and people are still debating what happened with it. We have studied the conditions through passage of asteroids with diameters 200 to 150 meters, consisting of three types of materials: iron, stone, ice across, iron, stone, and steel, and other materials, maybe. What other materials could it be made of? There's also gas as well. The Earth's atmosphere with a minimum trajectory altitude of the range of 10 to 10 kilometers or higher and stuff. And the Journal Monthly Notice of the Royal Astronomical, 10 to 15 kilometers. Astronomical Society, Dr. Sergey, and fellow researchers of the Kerensky Physics Institutes in Siberia focused their attention on a select group of asteroids of various sizes composed of what they believed the Tunguska rock may have been in traveling at the trajectory estimated to be the same as the event causer. The model generated which each size and composition would have on the event in Tunguska. Here's a picture of the trees that were destroyed during the event. Wow, pretty. Here, let me blow it up for you. There, at least try to. Right. I wonder if. Here's more of the trees and stuff like that. That's pretty big, huh? Feel free to leave me a few more chats, folks. The icy space rock was eliminated because it would have melted before achieving maximum destruction. The stone space rock would have come closer, but it still would have disintegrated and left a trail of debris in that possible crater. That left the brick house built by the third little pig, the iron space rock. After manipulating the sizes, the researchers delivered their verdict in Science Alert reported. According to the team's calculations, the most likely culprit is an iron meteorite between 100 and 200 meters, 320 to 650 feet across that flew 3,000 kilometers, 1,800 miles through the atmosphere. Well, through the sky. Wait, there's more. All right. The meteor passed over 3,000 kilometers, 1,865 miles of the planet's surface to the lowest altitude of 10 to 15 kilometers, 6.2 to 9.3 miles. They believe it traveled at a phenomenal 20 kilometers per second, with 12.4 miles per second before exiting into outer space, shredding about half of its over 30 million tons weight on the way. That's right. The model concludes the Tunguska event was caused by a rock wave of 200-meter wide iron asteroid that ripped through the atmosphere, losing half of its mass along the way, but not all of it. The 100-meter wide asteroid blasted back into space, explained why it left no impact crater in Siberia. What about all of the iron chunks and shavings it lost in the flight through the atmosphere? That isn't explained by its incredible speed and altitude. Here, imagine the trees that is making the smoke is through my own town. Yeah, imagine the trees that is making the smoke is through my own town. Yeah. Would probably be wow. It would be, yeah. Thanks for another chat, Dustin. It would never have dropped below a 11 kilometers per second, 7 mile MPS, or below an altitude of 11 kilometers. 11 kilometers, huh? The lack of iron debris is also explained. This high velocity, since the object would be moving too fast and would be too hot to drop much. Any mass loss would be through the sublimation of individual iron atoms, which would look exactly like normal terrestrial oxides. Those oxides would have remained behind in the higher atmosphere, and explains the bright glow witnessed the same night across Europe. This sounds similar to the Tunguska Event in 2013. You're right. However, that one exploded before it could escape, and while destructive, caused far less damage than found in Tunguska. But that just sounds like they're just making hyperbole about saying why there'd be no evidence of it left. Is it time for bookies to pay these with iron asteroid? Asteroid went back into space bets. The researchers are still hesitant to credit their model. Indisputable answer. Are we in any danger of this killer iron asteroid coming back? You're probably more likely to be done in by iron deficiency. But, really? Not bad. So they think it was an iron asteroid that caused the Tunguska event. Maybe. We have a lot more of these articles to look through. More major meteor crashes near site of the Tunguska event. The Tunguska event in 2003 for the biggest blast in modern history. Let's see this. Scientists searched for Tunguska cosmic matter, the mystery of once and for all. Okay, let's search for cosmic matter to settle it, huh? And back over 100 years ago, a sudden explosion flattened 2,000 square kilometers of Siberian forest, basically taking out 80 million trees. 112 years later, the exact cause remains a mystery. The Tunguska event is one of the most speculated about anomalous events of all our time, and while scientists firmly believe that a meteor exploding some 5 to 10 kilometers above the Earth's surface is to blame, they don't have any direct evidence. Has led to the usual sort of wild and baseless, although extremely fun speculation involving everything from aliens to who knows what else. Scientists from 4 major Russian institutes on science, on Russian institutes, the Nobilsky Institute of Nuclear Physics, Nobilsky Institute of Geology and Mineralogy, Tunguska and Kerensky Biophysics Institute are hoping to solve the Tunguska mystery once and for all. Dr. Arthur Medius, Deputy Director of the Tunguska Nature Reserve, says. The mystery of the Tunguska event worries both the scientists and the public. The meteor is not here as a physical body, but the traces of the extremely powerful explosion, which is currently studied by studied by researchers. Many of us still hope to unravel the scenario of the disaster. All right. To do this, scientists are looking at the bottom of a lake, the sediments of the bottom of Lake Zapanoi, or maybe Zeppo right here, approximately 40 kilometers from well, I can't really say that name, so I'm just going to say it's just a lake, okay? From the assumed epicenter of the blast may contain evidence of a meteor explosion. If, in fact, one occurred, Dr. Midas says, although this lake is outside the territory that was affected in, 1908, it's of great interest. It is deep, and silted sediments have accumulated here and do not mix or subside. Spring, autumn, moist waters in the Luka River brought traces of the Tunguska catastrophe to this lake because the event was accompanied by massive wildfires and emissions of both planets and space origin. Using fun science words, X-ray fluorescence and and other synchro stuff like that, radiation, the scientists hope to be able to detect particles of extraterrestrial origin in the layers of sediment that date to the Tunguska event. Dr. Matus says they have already been able to determine layers come from year of the blast. The layers that come from the year of the blast. They are looking specifically at the layers from 1908 through 1910, as meteor particles may have washed into the lake in 2 years following the explosion. The doctor says, we discovered a distinguishing light-colored layer in sediments of Lake Zapanoi here. The contents of which an increased content of potassium, titanium, yttrium, and zirconium allows to tie into the consequences of the Tunguska boiloid explosion. This way we know which layer of sediment may contain particles of alien origin. All right. Interesting. Particles that come from outer space then. Here's another chat from Dustin. It's not 2013. Yeah, I know, but I know it's not 2013, but they did talk about another meteor impact or close call that happened in 2013, where a meteor basically air-pacted Russia and stuff. Dustin, let's see, where was I? Next stage implies the further stage, or rather stage afterward. Stage implies search for microparticles with unusual composition with the use of synchrotron radiation. Synchrotron, all right, use of radiation. Now we know where to look for them. Is there any evidence of this left from what happened in the Tunguska event? Maybe, who knows? Will be interesting to see if they find out what they're looking for. They discovered particles from an extraterrestrial object in the lake. It would put a damper on all the fun speculation, but they haven't found it yet, and mysteries like the Tunguska event continue to be fun. Here's another chat. The West Coast is burning. Yeah, I heard about the wildfires and stuff. That does sound sad, doesn't it? Yeah, that is very bad. Now, so what do you think about what happened with the Tunguska event, folks? Do we think it was an alien spacecraft and stuff like that? Let's try. We have people talking about what evidence for it and stuff like that. Let's go. Tunguska-sized surprise asteroid narrowly misses Earth. The Tunguska explosion, fact and fiction. This sounds like a good one to continue onward. But what do you think, folks? I'd love to hear a few more chats about what you think, as well as please go hit that like button for me. Courageous. Let's go look at this one. As I said before, please go hit that. Please go hit that. All right. The idea that an alien spacecraft might have exploded in the sky above Tunguska on June 30th, 1908 is certainly a provocative, intriguing. There is, however, one issue that some proponents of this particular theory are not at all keen to highlight, namely that its origins can be found not within the worlds of science or high-level government secrecy, but firmly within the realm of sci-fi. It was in 1946 that Russian author Alexander Petrovich, Alexander here, wrote a story that was directly inspired by a personal trip he had made during the previous year to see the atomic devastation and destruction that was brought the Japanese city of Hiroshima. Yeah, by the way, folks, hit that like button for me. It helps me fight the algorithm, as well as please go, because the more people that hit that the more people that hit that like button means the more people are watching my content. That means, well, that's a good thing. As well as please go hit that bell and hit the part of the bell that gives you all future notifications, and please go share this video out on Twitter and Facebook. Let's get back to this. David Darling notes, David here, that the Alexander developed the idea that a nuclear-powered spacecraft, David here says Alexander developed the idea that a nuclear-powered spacecraft from Mars on a visit to collect fresh water from the lake had exploded, showering the area in radioactivity. There's very little doubt at all that Kazintsev's, Alexander's novel helped to nurture the idea that something of an extraterrestrial nature came to grief over Tunguska. Okay. Similarly, in his debut novel, 1951, the astronaut sci-fi author Stanislaw utilized the specific scenario of an alien spacecraft exploding over Tunguska as its central overriding theme. And basically, a little over a decade later, the astronauts was adapted into a movie titled First Spaceship Venus. On the big screen version of the story, Russian scientists stumbled upon a magnetic recording device at the site of the Tunguska blast. They soon determined that the object which exploded was nothing less than a reconnaissance vessel from the planet Venus. A translation of the recording device reveals that the vessel contained the entire Venusian population who were coming to Earth with the specific intent of occupying our world. Their goal and their entire race, too, is brought into an abrupt end, however, with their with the end of their craft and stuff, with it being completely annihilated. All right. And the fact that Tunguska continues to play a major role in the world of sci-fi only ensures the fine line between fact and fiction is even more blurry and indistinct. For example, Donald R. Bencham's 1978 novel, and having Ritz use the Tunguska story as a springboard for the amusing tale about a stranded aliens who are forced to manipulate the technology of early 21st century Earth as a part of an attempt to rebuild their stricken craft, and the novels just keep on coming. Chekhov's Journey, written by a guy in 1983, presents a scenario in which the playwright Austin Chekhov, a playwright, has personal knowledge of the Tunguska event, which turns out to have been caused by futuristic Russian time travelers. Years later, Bruce Sterling and Rudy Breckner's story, Storm of the Cosmos, depicted secret Soviet reconnaissance mission journeying to Tunguska and finding advanced technology that is then incorporated into the Soviet space program. In the world of sci-fi themed, and sci-fi comic books, the situation is much the same. The Marvel comic spin-off of the 1987 movie Predator that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Tunguska explosion is shrouded in mystery, but is attributed to either an attempt by the Predators to hide their existence from the human race by vaporizing their malfunctioning craft high in the atmosphere, or by the military and governments of either Russia or America who are firmly determined to prevent the infinitely advanced technology falling into the hands of the scientific elite of each other's respective nations. And perhaps inevitable, even the X-Files got into the act with a two-part story titled, Tunguska and Tunguska, which Mulder and his longtime archfoe are forced to work together. They journey to Tunguska, where they learn that materials recovered at the crash sites contain a deadly substance known as black oil that contains a microbial life form capable of infecting and controlling any and all creatures. All of this is good entertainment for those who are like sci-fi, who like that ironically have no interest in. I much prefer violent horror movies. But for those who are hung on to the idea that aliens met their deaths over Russia in '08, we should not forget how these earlier sci-fi most assuredly had a bearing on what people thought about the still controversial thing. Well, what did happen there, huh? Were aliens responsible for it? It could be, but no one knows for sure. Astronomers hunt for killer space rocks in June meteor swarm. Let me go over here. Meteor hits the Nikola Tesla's earthquake machine. The strange mystery that, let's see this. Looking for a few more articles for us to talk about. Mysterious Russian UFO career. This is. Let me go down here. Mysterious cauldron Siberian Valley. This. Let me go over here. Dustin, X-Files. Yes, X-Files, Dustin. Looking for a few more articles on Tunguska. Maybe this. Tunguska says surprise asteroid narrowly misses Earth. Conspiracy theories, mystery event in Siberia which turned day into night. I think this is about. Let's see if this is about Tunguska Event. Siberia is weird. It's has been, always will be. Siberia is one of the most sparsely populated, populated places on Earth, making it populated places on the planet, making it a perfect place for the Russian or Soviet government to hide all sorts of stuff. Top secret nuclear research facilities, closed cities, and things far stranger. And very strange. Yeah, Siberia, is a very strange place. Always will be. Is one of the most sparsely populated areas. Especially on planet, making it a perfect place for the Russian or Soviet government to hide all sorts of stuff. Top secret nuclear research facilities, closed cities, and things for stranger. Of these man-made mysteries, Siberia has been the site of many strange and unexplained events in the sky, including one of the world's most anomalous natural phenomenon. Well, Tunguska. What happened in Tunguska? Let's see. Let's get into this article. Perhaps due to its sheer size, Siberia is no stranger to things exploding or appearing in its skies. Aside from the Tunguska Event, strange glowing clouds which light up the night sky have been seen over Siberia before. But an odd cloud which enveloped several Siberian towns this week was significant for the opposite reason, turning day into night. Even stranger local officials have offered either no explanation or a series of conflicting explanations, which have led residents to believe that a full-blown government conspiracy or something basically being hidden might be afoot. What exactly happened in Siberia? According to the eyewitness, according to a strange fog, dust cloud, or mist appeared seemingly out of nowhere around noon on Friday. Another chat. Tunguska. I see what you're doing there. Tunguska. Tunguska. Well, either way, thanks for another chat, Dustin. Let's get back to this. We have another article about what happened here and stuff like that. Okay, maybe not a Tunguska event, but something very strange has happened in Siberia. According to eyewitness accounts, a strange fog mist appeared seemingly out of nowhere Friday, July 20th, completely blanketing several towns and villages in the Ivino, Bretansky, and Zingensky parts of Yakutia, a region of Siberia well known for players of the Parker Brothers classic tabletop game Risk. Whatever it was, completely blocked out the sun, forcing residents to use the fog or whatever it was completely blocked out the sun, forcing residents to use flashlights in the middle of the afternoon. Some residents reported the cloud a yellowish tinge, while others described it as a red. Photos taken during the event show a strange twilight similar to that experienced during total solar eclipses. experience total solar eclipses, huh? As soon as the cloud appeared, speculation, rumors, and conspiracy theories immediately began to surface. Some residents accused the Russian government of carrying out undisclosed tests of missiles, of explosives. Some believed a meteorite exploded overhead, while others, of course, said this can only be explained by a UFO. Few eyewitnesses even reported seeing a flash of light shortly before the cloud appeared. Okay, this sounds very similar to the Tunguska event and stuff like that, or at least some of it does. I'll look at this article a bit more. Konstantin, Konstantin. I'll just call him Con here, Konstantin, an official of the Nizhyn-Bratinsky settlement. Nizhyn, all right. This settlement said the anomalous event was unlike anything the village has witnessed before. When the sun vanished, people started calling us in the administration. They got scared, especially elderly people who live here for many years said they have never witnessed anything like this. The darkness was pitch black. It didn't come at once, grew gradually. The leading theory is that the darkness was caused by smoke from a nearby wildfire, which are common in Siberia this time of year. However, locals doubt this explanation as the air temperature did not change during the event, and there were reportedly no airborne dusts or particulates accompanying the cloud. As now, the anomalous event remains unexplained. Okay, that was okay. We have Siberia has the Tunguska event has other weird stuff happening to it. We also have other articles I have to go do a dedicated video on about them as well. But here we have what happened with the Tunguska event. Let me go over here and basically let me go over here a bit. Get that. They must. Very strange. Let me get this up here. There. I'm trying to see if I can find some more stories. All right. More major meteor crisis near site of the 1908 Tunguska meteor event. I could look at that one. It does have to do what we hear. Maybe this are whatever. We have more meteors happening near that area, which is very strange. All right. The dusk event will light the sky with fireballs. Let's look at this article. All right. If we could take a moment to put down our games and take a look at overhead, we'd probably find the skies are full of interesting phenomena. Halloween season was a rare treat. UFOs over Phoenix, Arizona, mysterious green fireballs up in the skies over Japan. Well, lighting up the skies over Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. A massive asteroid nearly hit us. Okay. Massive asteroid, huh? Now things are about to get a little more interesting. To the Terrid meteor shower set to peak throughout first half of the latter part of this year. Well, this happened this was an article from a few years ago, folks. So yeah. So this isn't anything that happened recently, but this does have talk about about meteors falling near the Tunguska, where the Tunguska thing happened. According to the American Meteor Society, the Turrids appeared to have a 7-year cycle, which culminates in extra light and active meteor shower in 2008 and 2009. The meteors were especially vibrant, leading to some to speculate this year's shower might result in a particularly exciting show. Luckily, the moon is also in a waxing crescent phase, meaning it won't be reflecting so much light as to obscure the meteor shower. As I said, this happened back in 2016, a few years ago, folks. So this is anything happening soon. This happened a while ago. NASA meteor researcher Bill Cook told Space.com that while the Turrid meteor shower isn't the most productive shower, the fireballs that do manage to light up our atmosphere will be worth the wait. In general, the Turrids are very bright, so there will be only 5 per hour, but they are bright. That's the claim to fame. The rates are low to be prepared to look for a while. Space.com reports that the meteor shower will peak in the northern hemisphere around November 4th and 5th, while sky watchers in the southern hemisphere will get their best glimpse of light show around November 11th and 12th. The toward meteor shower in the event is debris left in the wake of a comet, a rocky event that orbits the sun every few years. Some astronomers have speculated that a piece of the comet could be the cause of the mysterious event in Tunguska that flattened trees and square and for miles around and was heard for hundreds of miles away throughout Siberia. Well, throughout Russia and stuff. Okay, that's interesting to note. In fact, let me go out and look at a few more of these stuffs. Let's see, Tunguska Event. Tunguska Impact 1 years later, science mission. Let me do Tunguska Events UFO. Richter said Tunguska Event was a UFO crash debris of, physics.org. Let's take a look at this. Or maybe we should look at alien database. Let me get this here, do that there, get this up, get this here, there, and whoops. Get that here and get this up here, and voila, put this over here. All right, Tunguska. Well, this is basically 1908 was, we already read this and stuff, was in ufology, 1946, engineer Alexander Kinzen hypotheorized that a nuclear-powered Martian spaceship seeking fresh water from Lake Bellicote had blown up in, but this is from his science fiction novel. Basically about that. Remember, this was for a science fiction novel. Thomas Atkins and John Baxter reference Kinzen's hypothesis in the book "The Fire Comes By." The Fire, 1976, 1988 television series, The Secret KGB Files, files on UFO by UFOs and stuff like that. Phenomenon, The Lost Archives, broadcast on Turner Network, referenced to the Tunguska Event as the Russian Roswell, and claimed that crashed UFO debris has been recovered from the site. In 2004, a group from the Tunguska Space Phenomenon Public State. Feel free to leave me a few chats, folks. I want to hear from you guys. And what do you think about this? Claimed to have found that the wreck of an alien spacecraft at the site. However, any discovered debris likely came from the failed launch of the fifth Vostok test flight, 22nd December 1960. The payload had landed close to the Tunguska impact site. How very weird. Could very well be something to cover it up, saying that any debris you find there is from a spacecraft that was made by the Russians, by them basically, making sure to stage some of the debris were found in the area. I could believe that. That's if they find actually anything that would be alien, the Russians can just say, no, it comes from this actual spaceship we built that we were sending out into space, basically do space missions on. Any evidence you find of extraterrestrial or of aliens comes from that, not from actual aliens from outer space. Could very well be. Let me go over here and see about let me look at this article. Physics.org. Let me get that here. Let me get that here and get that here. All right, let's go back over here. Let's see. Feel free to leave me a few more chats, folks, because I love to hear from you guys. Already 30 minutes in, not doing to it. Members of the Scientific Expedition State Foundation Tunguska Space Phenomena have managed to uncover blocks of extraterrestrial technical device which crashed down on Earth on June 30th, 1908. In addition, the expedition members found the so-called deer stone, which Tunguska eyewitnesses repeatedly mentioned in their stories. Explorers delivered a 50-kilogram piece by the stone city of Kerensky to be studied. Expedition was set off for it in July 2004 in order to solve the mystery behind the popular phenomenon known as the Tunguska meteorite. As the meteorite, huh? The expedition, organized by the Siberian Police State Foundation Space Phenomenon, completed its work on the scene of Tunguska meteorite fall August 9th. It was the first expedition to the region since 2000. Guided by the space photos, the researchers scanned a wide territory in the vicinity of the Polgars village, all parts of for parts of the object, for all parts of the thing from space. For the Tunguska Event. The Tunguska Event aircraft explosion that occurred near the Tunguska River in Siberia, June 30th, 1908. The blast felled an estimated 60 million trees over 2,150 square kilometers. On this day, local residents observed a huge fireball, 60 billion. So, 80 billion trees. Events residents, a huge fireball was as bright as the sun moving across the sky. Minutes later, there was a flash that lit up half of the sky, followed by a shockwave that knocked people off their feet and broke windows up to 4,400 miles. The explosion registered on seismic stations across Eurasia produced fluctuations. Pressure strong enough to be detected by the recently invented barographs in Britain over the next few weeks. Night skies over the continent and western Russia, night skies, Europe, the night skies of Europe and western Russia glowed brightly enough for people to read in the United States. The Smithsonian Observatory and the Mount Wilson Observatory observed a decrease in atmospheric transparency that lasted for several months. The size of the blast was later estimated to be around 10 to 15 megatons. Until this year, members of numerous expeditions have failed to find any remains of the object. Okay, that's interesting right there, huh? Very, very interesting. Okay, so we have that right there, talking about that, looking for various space debris and stuff. So there's that. Any other bottom of the lake, the Siberian Lake Demon's Mystery, the Tunguska Event. Here's another article we have yet to look at. All right, June 30th of, massive explosion rocked a remote area, leveling trees, known as what caused such destruction. Most experts believe the area was hit by a comet or a meteor, with the comet becoming the accepted explanation since no crater nor meteorite fragments were ever found. A melting and subsequently vaporized ice ball comet would leave no such evidence. All right. That explosion was accepted until 2012 when an Italian research team released the results of two explorations of Lake Choco, a shallow body of water about 5 miles from the center of the Tunguska Event. Of the lake of Chi here. Seismic event from 1999 showed something large and identified at the bottom of the lake, buried under what was about 109 years worth of sediment. Doing the math, they concluded it could be a Tunguska meteorite. A check of old maps showed no lake in the area prior to 1908. Return trips in 2009, 2102 to collect more, and 2102. Very weird. From 2009 to collect some more evidence and conduct a magnetic survey seemed to confirm that there was something in the lake, and they believed it was enough evidence to conclude the cause of the Tunguska event. A meteor. All they needed was a piece of the rock. In 2016, Russian researchers decided it was time to solve the mystery themselves. Scientists took core samples from the deepest trench in the lake, performed geochemical and bioanalysis, and then sent the samples to the Institute of Geology and Mineralogy, Siberian branch, Russian Academy of Science, for radioactive analysis. Their results will be published on the anniversary of the event on June 30th. In a press release this week, they left the catastrophe out of the bag. The study shows that the deepest sample is 280 years old, which means that the lake is probably even older because the researchers did not manage to obtain samples from the very bottom. Nevertheless, this proves that the lake is much older than the Tunguska Event and is not on impact crater, not an incorrect impact crater of a supposed Tunguska meteorite impact. But how do you explain that no one noticed this lake prior to the Tunguska event? It's very strange. That's how you're wording it. It seems very strange to me. Why would it on maps prior to why weren't they on maps, huh? No one mapped it and stuff like that. Didn't think it was big enough to map out. What do you think about that, folks? It's very weird. Why would they not basically basically say why would I not put a lake on a map? And it just suddenly appeared after the Tunguska event, but they're saying didn't actually appear prior to then. And they do say that the lake is over 280 years old. Oh, very weird. Very, very weird. I mean, honestly, that does sound strange. So what do you think about that, folks? What about with the Tunguska event? Any ideas? Feel free to leave me a few chats. Do anything like that. I'd love to hear from you guys about this. We have a few minutes more. Then we're talking about Tunguska event. Was it caused by aliens? Do you think aliens were basically trying to maybe prevent a meteor impact and basically it cost them their ship or something? That I've heard. There's also the fact that it could have been caused by any number of other phenomena. Some people think it might have been something like a maybe it had something to do with. I'm trying to think of it like something to do with matter we're not quite sure of. Something to do with not quite sure what it was, but it wasn't a meteor, but maybe to do with something like made of matter that could be antimatter or something. Like that piece of antimatter somehow hit the Earth in there and it caused an explosion. Not that had anything to do with aliens. They said maybe has something to do with that, or maybe it was. I've heard other theories say that it was possibly a myriad of other things, not just that. It could also have been something to do with maybe magic, or something supernatural going on there, and that's what caused the explosion. Well, something supernatural, something we don't understand. It could be any number of reasons as well, which is all very highly interesting. So there could be anything that could have happened. But what do you think about that, folks? I'd love to hear your ideas on what happened with the Tunguska event. Let me go over here to see how many chat. Ooh, that's a good amount of likes. If you have not hit that like button yet, folks, please do so. It really helps me fight the algorithm so more people can see my content. The more people that see my content means my graphic novel Scumdogs comes out to you all the faster. As well as please hit that bell and hit the part of the bell that gives you all notifications for my videos. And please go share this video on Twitter and Facebook. And go and share this video on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, but what do you think, folks? What happened with the Tunguska event? Could it have been a black? Some people say it could have been a black hole, and that a black hole that opened up and caused it as well. Maybe. But whatever happened, they do say that the lake at the Tunguska didn't exist before the Tunguska event. But here we have them saying it was over 280 years old. Of course. Sounds like they're basically trying to muddy the waters with more disinformation because they didn't have any evidence of it. That's very weird. It's very weird indeed. I don't know what's happening there, but that is something that needs to be addressed. That's something people need to basically find the truth of this situation with aliens and other stuff like that. You can't let people basically muddy the waters and make with disinformation, basically try to make sure no one knows what is going on there. But either way, it's very interesting. But if it was aliens, maybe they were trying to prevent some sort of disaster, or maybe it was time travelers who were trying to stop the aliens from invading. It could be as well. Maybe they blew up their alien spacecraft or maybe it was people from another universe who were coming in doing the same thing. Or it could have been a number of things, maybe even things we truly don't understand, things that are even stranger than aliens. So there's that as well to consider. So there have that as well. But what could have been? Could it have been creatures, as I said, from another universe coming in here? Maybe here they didn't like the fact that aliens were going to invade, or maybe invade and stuff like that. So they say they destroy their ship, and the aliens and the creatures from another universe and basically had a gigantic battle there. All we know is that the Tunguska event happened. We know it did it was huge. So whatever that was big. So, or could it, as I said, been maybe aliens trying to prevent some disaster, or maybe creatures from another, or maybe time travelers or creatures from another universe doing it. That's also something to be said. If it were creatures from another universe, maybe they had a problem with their ship and they were basically, well, they teleported in here, saw their ship was going to blow up, and teleported out before the full impact of what happened did happen. But either way, it left a giant impact on the Earth, and people noticed it for months around. So who knows what it could have actually been. So there's that as well to consider. But either way, people have been talking about this for years and years, and it's impacted, has a lot of impact on us. Whatever happened there, if it could have been creatures from another universe or something like that, maybe, who knows? But maybe they caused it. Either way, that is something to be said as well. Now, as I said, the Tunguska event impacted all of the planet. It's had an impact on us. It's definitely being felt still now. People talk about it all the time, but also, and people have all these ideas that could have been, people from another universe, aliens from outer space, time travelers, or something like that. We still don't know. People have very little information on what actually happened. All we think is that it could have we know that it happened, but who knows what the event actually was, huh, folks? What happened with the Tunguska event? What was it? Could it have been something we truly do not understand? Could it have been aliens? Who knows? But this is all cool to talk about and to think about, huh? How people have basically tried to cover up evidence or basically tried to find the real evidence, try to know what's really going on. But it basically, no one really knows what happened. It's all very interesting. It's all just great. Now, folks, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read Comics, They're Bad for You. The title is misspelled. It's THERE. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that like button because it helps me fight the algorithm so more people can see my content. And the more people that see my content means my graphic novel Scumdogs comes out to you all the sooner. Leave some comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. And please hit that bell. Hit the part of the bell that gives you all future notifications for my videos. And please go and share this video on Twitter and Facebook. All right. Yeah. Also, please go over to Stitch Together Pics. Stitch Together Pics is a YouTube channel hosted by the Maniacal Cinephile. You're going to love his reviews of movies. He plays this character called the Maniacal Cinephile who has multiple personality disorder, so you're not getting just one character, you're getting a whole lot of them, and they are fun. Go and subscribe to Stitch Together Pics, as well as go over and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Creepy Little Book is like the Art Bell radio show. He does little videos talking about high strangeness, but he also does live streams every night. On weekdays, he live streams at 12:30 a.m., and on weekends, he live streams at 10 o'clock p.m. He talks about aliens and ghosts, and you learn, and it's just great. Go and subscribe to Creepy Little Book, as well as go over and subscribe to Robot Co-op. Robot Co-op on YouTube is great. They do these live streams where they talk about, their Robot Co-op is like Mystery Science Theater 3000, but they do these live streams with these robot puppets that are just so much fun to watch. Go and subscribe to Robot Co-op on YouTube. All right, folks, remember, I'll be back again tomorrow around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 11 o'clock p.m. for another live stream, so be sure to come back again then. All right? Oh, we had some fun tonight, huh? Did a lot of streaming, and it did some fun. Looked at a bunch of stuff. But I think, yeah. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you all again soon.